So I'll count you in. We are live. Hey,
Excellent.
Hey Scott, did
How
we
are you
not
doing?
show up last week? Yeah, we didn't show up last week because I had all kinds of issues
Technically,
that disappeared this year week.
did they
Uh,
literally disappear?
Apparently, I think I just crowded some sort of uh, software up. Allowing it to
Gosh.
warm up, basically, almost like almost like hitting an old TV or something. I just did something wrong that the whole system said, "Nah, we're not working."
I'm such a luddite, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have an
We all are
iPhone.
at this point. Yeah, that's what.
Well, yeah, I don't know how you keep up with it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I just hate technology.
Hmm.
Um, not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I work on at some pretty high tech stuff at work. But my work computer, they told me the other day, is 13 years old because they're replacing computers, and I'm like, don't replace mine. Mine works fine. And they
Hmm.
go, yours is 13 years old, and I go, it's perfect. Don't change a thing. And mine here at the house, I mean, I'm running Windows 7 here
Wow.
and a CS2, I think,
Hmm.
Adobe when I do Adobe. And I mean, I don't care. I mean, because I don't know.
Because
I
you
don't
can do
like.
everything you want to do without being, you haven't been shown
Yeah.
the idea that you need to rent all your. That's the
No, that's
deal. They
that's
want
bull
you to
crap.
rent everything.
Well, I don't use it enough. That's my problem. So I used Adobe last night. So this paper that I'm drawing on, it says Strathmore, but this is a file that Strathmore sent. So I bought comic pages and they were mismarked. And so I emailed Strathmore and complained, and
Hmm.
so somebody in their marketing department said, "Well, look at it. Does it look like this?" And they sent me a PDF of this file, and I go, "Well,
Uh-huh.
no, it's these the lines were," and I go, "No, they're wrong." And so they sent me a bunch of paper, but the cool thing was they sent me this file,
That
so
PDF.
in a PDF, and so I've got an Illustrator, and I've gone in and kind of modified it how I want it, and I don't buy. I've got a printer that prints 11 by 17 that I've had forever, and I just print out my own pages. I don't need their
Hmm.
I don't need their pages. Um, so I don't need to buy their paper. I mean, I'm just doing pencils. This is just it's a little it's like a index card stock,
Yeah.
and I like it. And I like smooth paper that I draw on. Hot
It,
press, I guess, would be the technical term.
mhm. Yeah, but it does make a difference. The I don't know, the clay or something in a good piece of
Sure.
Bristol board is
Well, I'm not.
different. It's a little different. I mean,
It is a little different.
it'll take ink a lot better.
Well, I'm not inking,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kevin, if
Uh,
Kevin's listening, or Dan. I don't know if Dan's listening. So, couple things I wanted to talk about to
okay.
you. So, I almost wasn't on tonight because I agreed to go. I didn't even think about it, and I agreed to go represent my company at a Votech, like I'd done a few weeks ago. I think I talked
Uh-huh.
about that, and I realized the other day I was driving to work and I go, I need to get my oil changed. It's almost due.
Hmm.
And I realized, so I thought, well, I've got about 145 miles before my oil change is due. And so I sat down, I went to make a reservation at the dealership and they couldn't get me until next Wednesday. And I go, oh crap. So I did the math on my work time and I realized I just based on trips to work, I had another 160 miles to travel. So I was like, oh crap. So I told you tomorrow I'm not driving to work. I'm riding with my wife and I'm gonna hang out downtown all day,
Hmm.
which is something I told you in our correspondence. But also, and the weather's kind of bad, so I told the lady that I would not be going to the Votech thing tonight. So even though I think I told you earlier that I was not be out tonight, that changed because of the weather and my car, which I was like, I'm not going to because the Votech is in Norman, which is the opposite
Yeah. That's
opposite direction
quite a
from my
haul.
house. it's quite a haul for me, which I wouldn't mind doing, except I need an oil change.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, could I have gone 15 miles over? Probably. When I
Sure.
had a Honda, it was a big deal. They were like, oh, if you go over, we have to inspect your
Oh,
vehicle. But my
okay.
car doesn't have any. The Honda had like a computer that would tell you. Mine, they put a sticker. If I went over, I just pull the sticker off and go, I don't know how long it was,
Yeah.
But I don't want to, I do have a car
Dan
that's a
says hi.
turbo. Oh,
Dan.
hey, Dan. So I had a great conversation with Dan. So my wife went out of town last week, went to New York, or went to
Oh,
New Jersey,
yeah.
actually.
How'd that go?
And it went pretty good. Her friend had heart surgery. I think I told you that.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
that went well. She did get paddled at one point, but it was
Ooh.
because her heart went to arrhythmia because of a procedure they were doing, not necessarily a bad, not a good thing, of course, but not a bad thing. But we're all glad to have her back. But Saturday, Saturday, Dan and I were chatting over the internet, and I can't remember if I asked him if he could call me or I could call him. Anyway, it's easier to talk. So we talked. I ended up talking to Dan for like 2 hours,
Hmm.
which I mean, I'll talk to somebody for 2 hours, not that big a deal. But one of the things that came out of the chat with Dan, which Dan is if Dan lived here, Dan would be part of our group pretty easily. I think
Oh,
he has the
sure.
same kind of sensibilities you and I do. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
and
Just what he
certainly,
told us about on his little personal history with the interviews and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, no. But I mean, more, yeah, definitely. I think some of his views about comics and that sort of thing are very similar to ours. Anyway, so I talked to Dan. We were talking about the possibility of the Black Cricket going monthly. There's a possibility of that, which would be
Cool.
cool, which would be really cool. But as I told him, I would really have to step up my game. But I can draw fast. It's just like life goes, well, are you busy? Well, because this is what people ask me. They'll go, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing
Hmm.
this weekend? Oh, I'm working on comics. Well, when's it? My mom has figured out comics because she'll go, well, when's it due? And I go,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
there's not a
Deadlines.
due. If there's not a due date, people are like, well, then good, then we're gonna go out to eat, or you can come over and
Yeah. And
put
that's how deadlines expand. Yeah.
yeah, so I told Dan I would just have to make sure my personal life doesn't interfere with the comic. Which I mean, drawing a superhero book monthly would be like a dream for me.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm in. It's a little nerve wracking, obviously, because it's like, I've never drawn a monthly book. In fact, I would say I've never. Well, I've drawn the closest I've probably come to drawing like a monthly book or something on a heavy deadline is for a long time I did samples for conventions, and
Hmm.
I would have to watch my time. It's like, okay, how much, when are you going to do that? How many
Hmm.
panels do I got to get done every night is how I thought about that, but it's
Yeah.
doable. I think I can do it, and I'm
Well, I
definitely,
mean, the stress of multi-image producing is always going to be a little more than some people are up to, because it just weighs on you. You realize, I only got a fraction of what I need to do,
yeah.
and it eventually just goes, oh man, well, that guy, a really good artist, another guy, Jason Brubaker, who does good
Oh,
tutorials and
yeah.
stuff and everything, and put out some great books. Um, he gave up being a highly paid story artist. He's lost, if you were to, he was in with the in crowd on being a really well thought of story artist. And, he said, no, you know what? Tired of it. When you get tired of something, you are in hell if you have to
Yeah.
continue to do it. And he was in hell, and he wanted. Plus, the
Oh, I
hell
missed
the
what
hell
Dan
is
said.
balanced by knowing exactly what you want to do too.
Yeah,
You know,
I missed what Dan said. What did he say? He says so the deadlines aren't too tight for anyone. I think I missed the first part of what he
I
said.
figure we pitch the critic and get a couple of months ahead,
Cricket,
so the
yes.
deadlines aren't too tight for anyone. Yeah, he said.
Oh yeah,
I figure we
yeah,
pitch the critic. Yeah,
yeah. That's what I told him. It's like, well, I'd like to be a few months ahead of time. I mean, but you still, if you don't produce monthly, but I
yeah.
think I can do it. But I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. I want to do it, and because this is what I've always said. Oh man, I want to do that, and I know in my mind it was like, oh yeah, I want to do it, and I want to do it for Marvel and not have a day job, but I can't quit my day job, and I certainly can't quit my day job to work on the cricket. Unfortunately, not yet, at
Yeah,
least, right, Dan? But
right.
but I think I can, since I'm not inking. Inking is what kills me, man. I mean,
Hmm.
inking. I think I can do a. I think I could do a monthly book in my spare time if I'm doing pencils. You know.
Hmm.
Anyway, we'll see. I mean, I'm willing to try it, certainly. You know. But of course, I say that, and in 2 weeks I'm going to New York.
Yeah, yeah. You
It's
got
like, we'll start
you're
after my
going to New
vacation.
York, huh? With all this stuff that goes on, just don't
Oh
have
gosh.
anybody need to choke you out on the subway. It's
Uh,
just
uh,
that guy that choked the guy out is. I feel sorry for him, but I don't know where he got his experience on choking somebody out with a carotid choke. But people go out usually within a minute of a good choke. Yeah, survive is what Dan tells you.
5. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not. I don't want to get. I don't know who else watching or whatever, but my wife and I, the last few times we've been to New York, and I think I've told you this, I have felt like it's gotten more and more dangerous,
Yeah.
and part of it, it's not. I mean, okay, so a couple times ago, we were stuck in a protest, and
Yes.
I had to push my way through a group of people to get out of an Italian restaurant we were at,
Mhm.
and that was fine. Somebody tried to kick me in the ankle, but they caught me when I was walking, and I ended up stepping on their foot.
Hmm.
I was wearing a pair of hiking boots, pretty heavy hiking boots.
Timing in a fight. That's everything.
This was pure. This was
It
pure
wasn't a fight.
chance. It
Yeah,
wasn't a
yeah.
fight. It was pure chance. A lady about 3 foot behind us uh, got hit by a truck one time, and
Man.
I truly believe that God protects you sometimes. Let me put it that way. And
Hmm.
again, I'm not saying anything about the poor lady that got hit, but we've had pretty good
Then,
luck.
then
And I,
God balances it out by having you run over a nail.
yeah,
So
exactly. Which
okay, you've had it too good lately. I saved your life
yes,
entirely the other
it's
day.
time for you to
Time
face
for
the
your
nail,
yeah.
buddy.
Time for a nail in the tire.
Don't say that. I don't want to deal with that right now.
I don't either. God, I
God.
hate that.
That's I well, I bought a compressor at Black Friday just because I wanted to not. There's no place around me to get air in
You
my tires.
you wanted to be autonomous. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to have the ability to fix crap like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, but yeah, I mean, we've had several things that have been weird like that, especially in particularly in New York City. I mean, I was telling somebody today, I didn't even think about this, but my wife, we were at a breakfast place one time. We get up and leave. We walk to Central Park, and we're probably about 3 miles away. And my wife goes, "Where's my purse?" I go, "What?"
Oh.
And she goes, "I left my purse in the restaurant." And I go,
Oh.
"Holy crap!" And so I ran. This is when I was running some. I ran back to the restaurant, and we go in, and the girl goes, "Did your wife forget her purse?" I go, "Yes." And she goes, "Oh yeah, here it is. Somebody found it or something." I go, "Holy cow!" I go, and you go, and you want to go,
You are
what are
being
the
watched out after.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I say that. I don't say that joking. I don't take matters of God protecting me loosely. I covet that.
Yeah.
I mean, I fully believe that. With no, and again, not that bad stuff never happens to me, because I've certainly had my share of flat tires and so on and so forth. But and I know that one day my luck will run out or whatever. That's
Yeah.
that's part of life. But
Yeah.
I'm still relish all the times that it's happened. And
Yeah. Notice
um
that it was a near thing. Yeah.
yeah, well, I think it's important, if you're a Christian, I think it's important that you at least acknowledge this kind of thing and go, huh, okay, yeah, whether you believe or not, or whatever, it's like, okay,
Be grateful.
be
Yeah.
grateful. That's yeah, yes, because I think too often good stuff happens to people,
Hmm.
and they just completely they don't. For example, like
Yeah. If
this
you want,
lady behind us got hit by this truck. And my first thing was, oh my gosh, that could have been us.
hmm
And then I was, and not that I was not, concerned about her, certainly. Um, but yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm acknowledging the fact that, something, I believe miraculous happened, and I'm appreciative of that.
hmm
You
yeah,
know.
it's just think of how you feel when you're sitting around thinking, man, I'm so glad I got this or that and whatever, and compare that with being angry, which a lot of us maybe let ourselves
Yes.
lapse into being angry just a little
Yeah.
too much.
I think that's a
And it's like, my God, I'm literally toxing myself, giving myself
yes.
toxins that just if I was to be grateful for everything around me, I'd be flowing with good stuff
Health
throughout
and
my body. Yeah.
yeah, no, and gratitude and I think it would also, for most people, it would make them, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everyone should be grateful, because
Yeah.
I am very cognizant of the fact that I'm very blessed in many, many ways.
You hear us, John Fetterman? Be grateful. Senator
Yes.
Fetterman, get with the
Yeah.
program. Be grateful.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be
Yeah.
kidding though. It's just funny to see the guy and you realize everybody knows he shouldn't be there. But it's like,
Except for his
well,
family. What? How does
we need that vote.
how does it? How did it?
It's better
How did
than
his?
Dr. Oz.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, whatever. I
Well,
don't.
from the dim perspective, it's definitely better than Dr. Oz.
Oh, sure, but I saw something where they were talking about it, and it's like, how does his anyway? I don't,
Yeah, yeah.
how does his family just? Why did they just not go? Don't do this. You don't have to do this. No
Well,
one.
I mean, the whole point of
He
it is
wasn't drafted. He volunteered.
well, yeah, but he's going to get the benefits of having, like he actually did some good while he was there for the rest of his life. I mean,
Hmm.
he's in, he hit the gold rush. It's why
Oh, he's
anybody,
definitely hit the jackpot. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, he's
I
hitting
mean,
the jackpot.
any of those guys, not just him,
Yeah,
but
all of them are in.
all of them, they're set.
Yeah.
The best care that the United States, as long as we're still a country, can afford.
Yes. Oh yeah. They're among
And
the
even
elite.
after that, they'll all have deals with our Chinese overlords,
Oh yeah.
or Russian, or China or Russia pact, whatever it ends up being, the new Axis allies that finally
I
conquer
guess
America.
some people try
Oh gosh,
to
we're gonna get
to
banned.
be. I guess some people try to be influencers that were just barely skimmed through the or not influencers, lobbyists I imagine they all try to be lobbyists, but I assume there's some rejection goes on. It's like, forget it, jerk. You were barely even here. Nobody knows you. Nobody liked you when you were here. For instance, Al Franken. I haven't heard about him trying to be any sort of a lobbyist.
He messed up because he got rolled up into the Me Too net, I believe.
Yeah, but the deal is the only reason they rolled him up, they'd have fought for him as just that ever valuable vote, but I don't think anybody liked him. And
that could be. He strikes me as very unlikable.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is weird for a guy that is supposed to be funny. Supposed to. That's one quick way to really get you on.
He's not that kind of funny guy though. He's more like a biting. The only reason I really even know who he is from his book about Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh is a big fat pig, and I hate him. Well,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who says that to somebody for the sake of writing a book?
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you think about that nowadays, that's not even that. Even now, of course, Rush Limbaugh, nobody's going to protect, but I mean, or defend. But how many? That's not a valuable or not a approved message now to say, well, somebody's a fat pig.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of them out there, but I had a donut today. I'm not gonna lie.
I've been eating good enough. I've been soft. What do you call it? Slow cooked. Soft cooked. So that's the way it comes out.
It's the opposite of hard boiled.
Yeah.
So, hey, so check out my thumbnails. I was going to show this.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So Dan sent me chapter 2, and I did my thumbnails here in my sketchbook. Have I showed you my thumbnail tool?
Yeah. Franken was the kid. No, show it to me. Franken was the kid in school who was good at coming up with hurtful nicknames. Yeah. No, that is exactly the guy.
Yeah, and about half the class would laugh until they were the ones.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, it was this way of getting everybody to fear him, I guess.
So
you're
this
probably
is
right.
So this is my little tool. I should cover my. I'll cover
and think of his other thing he's known for is like, by gosh, and what was the name of that? It was like, I'm so and so, and I really like myself. I can't remember the name.
Oh yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
literally, last time I watched Saturday Night Live, Steve Martin did King Tut. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, and John Belushi was on.
He was alive. John Belushi was alive.
It's been a while. Well, I think I saw it in repeat, to be honest, but it was when I was very young. So I was going to show you this, Ellis. I don't know if I showed you this. This is my. I want to cover because I got my. So this is my tool to do thumbnails. It's a little plastic thing I have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's at all sizes, rated.
It's got 3 sizes, and so I use the medium, and it's got a thing on it so I can stick it in the back of a sketchbook, so it doesn't get lost. Even though I lost it for several years, and gosh darn it, people like me.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm good enough.
Yep.
Oh, that's. Anyway, so I used this, and I did my thumbnails. I went through Dan's script, now I'm drawing the pages.
Cool. So, you know what? I decided that's exactly what's missing from my my iPad project I started of DL and Odious. I need thumbnails because I was hoping that it would be a unique comic creation experience by having all of the text in and all of the panels in.
Oh yeah.
That I would feel that I could do a daily panel, and that's not the way it works. I don't think it's not, at least not for my brain. I need something that hooks me, like those thumbnails that says, here's an entire stream of unfinished things that if you come along, they will become finished. You have to get it to that point where you say, okay, this requires attention, because I've done the hard part. Actually, thumbnails is one of the hardest parts. You have to compose everything, decide what you're putting in, what you're leaving out,
So I have this. this is my script,
Mhm.
and so I did the script and I went through the script. I bought that. There's an artist edition of Chris Somney, his Daredevil pages, and it's a slipcase thing, and it comes with the script. And this is kind of what he did: is he read it and he made notes, which I mean everybody does that, but I did my little things here, and then I took that and I just drew out panels, drew out my thumbnail boxes, and then filled them in, kind of worked with the light pencil, and then gradually got darker as I got more. And they could be tighter. Somebody on Facebook I posted was like, "Oh, I like your thumbnails because I hate looking at people's thumbnails that are so great, and yours look like mine, so I feel validated." I'm like,
Mm.
okay, whatever.
Yeah, did
I mean, I don't, it's like, oh, I don't think he meant it as like a dig, even though the guy's kind of a dick. But or I shouldn't say that, he maybe watch it, but anyway, it's not somebody I know in person,
uh-huh.
and he kind of strikes me as kind of having kind of one of those type of personalities. Gosh
He
darn it, everybody likes
might give
me.
you half a dig to give you a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, just kind of enjoys like digging people a little too much, but it's like, whatever, dude. I mean, I don't care. I'm drawing this stuff, and Dan likes it, and I enjoy drawing it, and it's cool. But yeah, and again, my thumbnails really. I mean, if I send my thumbnails to Dan, and he can kind of tell what's going on,
Hmm.
and I look at them, and it helps me nail down like here. Oops,
I didn't know
page.
Al Franken followed you, Scott. Interesting.
So, so like here, I mean, the roof is going to blow in. Well, I didn't really know what that was going to look like, so I kind of scribbled some stuff, and then I did my grid sort of, and that'll nail it down. And then I just kind of drew the guy falling, and it's like, well, okay, some of the choices I can make as I'm going. I'm not following them. I've worked on books before where I've followed the thumbnails real religiously. That's not
The
really how I want to do this because I
only
think it
reason
makes
to
it
follow the
stiff.
thumbnails real religiously is if, like you say, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can really get the thumbnails finished. That really makes it easy on a guy if he's working small and can
Well,
work small and bring
well,
things
that's what
up.
Somni does.
Hmm.
He does thumbnails on his script,
Right.
and then he does. I don't know how big it is, but it's an 8.5 by 11 page that has two boxes on it, two
Hmm.
pages, and he does a rough there. To me, that's too much work. And then he blows that up and light boxes it or something like that.
Yeah.
Which whatever. I mean, whatever work. I mean, he's the professional,
Mhm.
but that's not really how I want to do it.
Yeah, that too much work though. You kind of threw that out there, and what is too much work? I mean, it's like, what does it take is what you need to.
Well, that's
What
true.
do you want it to look like, and what does that take? You know.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't want it to look like I light box the thumbnails.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
I
There
mean,
you go.
I like Chris Somney's work, but I don't want to draw like Chris. Not that you have to draw like him to do that method, but
Hmm.
that's, you know, I mean,
Hmm.
I feel like if
Oh,
you
look at
should.
this. Dan's trying to interact with us. You want to hear it?
Oh yeah, let's hear it. Sorry, Dan. Oh, he
Like I
did
tell
have an idea.
people, like that. You've seen mine, now show me yours. Okay, the Franken kind of line.
Uh,
99% of the time they have nothing to show me. Okay. Oh,
yeah,
Scott,
that's
I did have an idea. In the first
yes.
panel with the blast taking off the roof, out the roof, what if the
Yeah.
blast blows the flames back?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
I would have to be closer to the
Well,
project to know
so
what you're talking about.
well, okay, so let's see if I can find that panel or that page. So let's see, is this the last page? Yeah, so he shoots kind of sonic blast out of his hands, And so he's jumping to this roof, and the blasts are going to blow through the roof. And so I thought, now I've got perspective here, but I thought what I would do is kind of show like the sonic blast coming through. But having the flames kind of come out of the way is kind of cool. That's a great idea. Yeah, because that'll help sell the force, the blow.
That's the
drawing,
deal,
Ellis?
you know. I'm drawing
Is that the Hulk?
It's the Thing.
Oh, it's the Thing. Oh,
I'm all hurt.
Oh no,
That's the Thing.
I should have counted his fingers.
Yeah, he's got 3 fingers.
Hang on, hang on just a second. Is the dog picking up stuff in my office?
That's what I'll draw next. I'll draw that dog that Black Bolt has. What's the name of that dog?
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. Of course, that's his name.
Lockjaw.
Black Bolt.
Okay, so
you could tell Kirby just wanted to be a part of that family.
Oh yeah.
Remember Star Trek VI when the Klingon moon blew up? Okay. I guess I don't remember. That ring of energy, something like that would be cool. I guess it must have exploded and imploded again or something. I don't know. That kind of is vaguely in the back of my mind.
Klingon.
I tell you,
I'm writing notes.
Dan's a regular Mike Stoklasa from Red Letter Media. Those guys crack me up. They're so deeply into Star Trek. They got no use for Star Wars. They're ready to give they're also ready to give bitter critiques of Star Trek, but boy, they love them some Star Trek. I've never seen so much trivia flow out of anybody's mouth.
When I was a kid, I loved Star Trek.
Yeah, well, these guys are next generation. It really starts for them when it's next generation.
You got to go back to Shatner.
You got to go back to Shatner.
I don't care about anything after first season. No.
Yeah.
No.
No, these guys are all about next generation on.
So I was going to tell you, Ellis, I had this. So you and I had this frantic conversation because the library is changing how they do audiobooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had been frantically downloading because the new system, you can't make audiobook. You can't copy them. And so I was frantically downloading them. It's stuff I was like, what do I want to own versus just have it at the library? And I didn't think all the same books would be on the new system, so I wasn't for sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you there was a mystery series. Did I tell you about this?
I don't think so.
There's a mystery series by a lady named Julie Mulhern, and I found about it by accident because I was looking to see if this is going to sound lame. I was looking to see if there was any audiobooks about coffee. I was thinking like maybe the history of coffee or coffee production.
Okay.
And she does a mystery called Clouds in My Coffee, and it's part of a series. And it's about this lady, and she's rich. She grew up wealthy, but she's also a painter, and she lives in Kansas City, and it takes place in 1974. So it's kind of vintage, and it's semi-local-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like them a lot. There's like 16 of them, and
I tell you what, if somebody's a good writer, that instantly you put them on your list as saying, hey, I can dig this. Just give me more. Give me more. You know.
Oh, especially audiobooks, because you're
right.
I'm always looking for audiobooks to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I was I had downloaded all these, and I was going to convert them, but what I didn't realize is for the software to allow you to convert them, you had to currently have them checked out. Mm-hmm. So I downloaded all of them, and I'm trying to convert them, and I'm realizing it's not letting me. I'm like, what's going on? Then I go, oh crap, because one of them I couldn't get back because somebody had it on reserve, so I reserved it, Anyway, I got it yesterday, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try, and the old software still works. So
Oh, good.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because there's a book that they're buying because I recommended it, but it didn't come out to July. And it's like, oh, well, I want that book too, you know? So anyway,
Scott, a Star Trek 6 scene was sent to you via messenger, Dan
okay.
says.
Okay. My phone is what I'm recording on, so I'll have to look at it. I won't
Okay.
draw that panel. I'll look at it. Thank you, Dan. Uh, I like having Dan on here,
Mm-hmm.
even though he can see my poor work habits.
No, hell, I'm watching this drawing you're doing coming up. It's pretty, looking pretty good there. I like that. It looks like the proportions are really good. Uh, that's the only thing, if you've got a thing to always be watching for, make sure that those proportions are good.
Oh yeah, well, I've been working my tail off on getting I mean, since Heaven's Reject finished, I mean, I've probably filled up a couple sketchbooks worth of
Mm-hmm.
during the COVID lockdowns. I have a sketchbook that I filled, and it was all like figures and stuff. That was all after Heaven's Rejects, where I was trying to get the superhero proportions
Well, it's just like
correct.
anybody else doing anything. It's like this painting. If I don't stay on top of the painting, it's like, what are you doing, Goodson? What you need to always be painting if you want the paintings to improve.
Yeah.
I'm giving it like, okay, I give it a week off. For one thing, you need the drawings of what goes into the painting. Like I said, my idea right now that's keeping me from painting is I need a drawing of Magnus Robot Fighter. Hey, I'll just do that right now. I'll do the drawing, and then that'll work its way into a painting. That'll be one thing that'll come out of tonight. Is
There you go.
I'll get something good out of that. But anyway, yeah. If you want to get good at something, you got to be doing it.
Well, okay, so when I was a kid, I would I don't know if you call it a nervous habit or what, but I was always getting gum wrappers, like the foil gum wrappers. I don't know if it still comes in foil even. I haven't had gum in forever, and I would make little men out of them. And I had armies of these guys, and I had a little system, and it's like perfect. They were all perfect and stuff. And I've thought, God, if I could do that with that, why can't I get the kind of ideal proportions for a superhero, And so I've been
Yeah,
really working on it, last couple years. Heaven's Rejects wasn't really. It was all females, and it wasn't really superhero books. I wasn't having to draw heroes, but I filled my sketchbook with them, and most of it's doing proportion work.
I'm thinking about Magnus and the karate he used.
Oh yeah,
it's always kind of funny, to think about how much it hurts to hit the bone in somebody's head, and then think he's smashing up steel robots and stuff.
I was telling my wife today I'm going to start doing at night my Taekwondo stretches. Because I haven't done it. I was like, I need to be, because we haven't done Taekwondo since COVID.
Well,
and
go light early. I mean,
yeah.
Rip those hammies. You don't want that.
No. I don't want. We want no injuries. For sure. Definitely not any injuries, especially since I'm in New York in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Michelle has a
they'd see you were injured and
my weakness.
Go
be
for
like
it.
Wolves. Like the pack of wolves would surround me, strip
even though having a cane might be a good deal. Keep somebody shoved away from you with a knife.
We had a tree that lost a limb, and I made a big staff out of it, like a big Gandalf. And I've said if I ever need a cane, that's what I'm using. Of course, my uncle bought a sword cane, so that would be good. But good luck getting that on the airplane.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they'd say, and what is this?
Yeah, what are you doing with this?
X-ray.
Yeah, they would. I think they'd see through that. But
They'd say, we have to keep you here.
we have to.
Somebody from the FBI wants to talk
We
to
have
you.
to. We have to search your body cavities now.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, no, no, not my idea of fun.
Yeah, you know.
I know.
I
I'm
was gonna say, don't knock it.
Don't knock it.
Body cavity search.
Yeah, I gotta take my car in for a oil change next week. That's as close as I want to get to cavity search.
Yeah, that's what they call that in wrestling, I think, and it's a check your oil.
Check your oil.
It was literally a term. I was watching some guy that he's a good-natured dojo crasher. He goes every place to make YouTube videos, and he's welcome. People say, okay, yeah, we can always use a little bandwidth or whatever you call it. What you call a signal boost, and he's welcome to come in and crash a dojo and whip up on everybody if he can do it. Sometimes he gets whipped up on. He crashes into a dojo where it's like, hey, these guys are world class. You're in trouble now. And but yeah, he's a wrestler first before he got into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So he knows all those terms.
Check your oil.
Yeah, it's just one of your grips that you're trying to get somebody under you or off of you. Yeah. I'd submit. I'd tap. But
big time. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. I've had all those I want. Once when I was a little kid in Optimus football, and no, that was your sack check. I wasn't too thrilled about that either. But and then it's like, who are these perverts telling you you ought to get that done all the time? It's like,
what? Yeah.
Hell, I do need to get it done all the time.
The heck with that.
Yeah.
One of my employees got a colonoscopy the other day. He was freaking out about getting it done. I was like, dude, you're asleep. What do you care?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna put me under, and that's pretty scary too, though. What they did to Joan Rivers. Yeah, got her under.
Oh yeah.
Finished her off.
That was a little different.
Yeah.
She'd ratted out the New World Order. I saw that video the other day.
Oh yeah, I guess that theory did get out there, didn't it? That, hey, what'd she do wrong? Yeah.
Well, there's a thing with her. There's a video of her talking about.
Oh. I
forget who. Somebody like a week before she died. It's like, okay, no wonder they Epsteined her.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the deal. We can't know any of this, what might be true. And what, everything comes with exaggeration these days. So, yeah, you can't know anything. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Speaking of good writers and good audiobooks, I suggest you check out Jonathan Kellerman, spelled just like I said it, Jonathan Kellerman. I'm listening to one called A Golem in Hollywood, and he's got another one in the series called A Golem in Paris, and he's a good writer. I'm really enjoying him. But he's got another character. The library has a lot of the books, and I can't come with but it's another one of his police procedural characters that he's invested a lot more time in. It's up to about almost 40 books, I think, and our library starts at like 26 on audiobooks.
Oh, geez.
So...
Okay, I'm gonna run. I can still hear you, but I'm running downstairs to get coffee. So if you lose
go ahead.
me,
yeah, I know how that needing that coffee is. Yeah.
Well, I know there's more down here.
Yeah. It's like the spice.
Yeah, exactly. The spice must
The,
flow, man.
I'm watching that new trailer, and wow, it thrilled me. I don't know if I'll
Oh,
go to the theater to see it. I know you're
I
not a
can't.
big Dune fan, but
No, I hadn't. I haven't made it through the first one. It's just
yeah,
like, oh my gosh, kill me!
yeah,
Somebody kill
it
me!
is awful dense with palace
Boredom.
intrigue. That's all it is palace intrigue. And it's like if it doesn't grab you in a way, there's no way you're going to finish that book. It's not. Yeah. That sort of stuff has got to get you. It's like if Game of Thrones could get a little tiresome, but if you don't have
Sure.
lots of character moments coming along and giving you this and that says, okay, now we're still telling a story. Don't get so impatient with us. You gotta
Yeah.
stick with it.
I'm gonna grab a book I want to show you
Okay,
on my way back to my office. This is a library book.
you're coming in just fine, by the way. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
you might as
good.
well be
I mean,
there.
so I checked this book out in the library, Ellis.
Okay,
Can you see that? Can
not
you
yet.
read it?
There it is. Paperbacks from Hell. Tell us about it.
This book is it's basically it's called The Twisted History of 70s and 80s Horror Fiction. And
Mm,
apparently the horror market, paperback market just exploded in the 70s.
yeah, Stephen
And it's
King probably calls that.
well, there was a lot of stuff that was and this guy, now the guy that wrote it, Grady Hendrix, he's a horror writer, but he talks about a lot of these books. And I mean, these books are crazy. Anyway, it's kind of an overview of a lot of stuff. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast tomorrow night.
Cool.
But
Oh,
it makes me want to
on what
better than fiction.
better than fiction? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of got broken up by like genre.
Mm-hmm.
There's like Pets Attack, and it's like all these
Yeah.
books
Yeah.
about just but the book is really really good. And I didn't read that stuff. I'm not a big horror guy, but the nostalgia of it is really cool.
They've got
I mean, I just
horror.
remember those books being out,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the paperback market in the 70s was huge,
Well, they always
certainly
have
compared to
the
now.
best covers. Every now and then there'd be the what's that great illustrator's name that did all the Private Eye books? That was so good. I've got McGee, McGuire,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Oh
McGinnis.
God,
What
McGinnis. Yeah.
yeah, is that his name? McGinnis. Okay.
Yeah. What was
No,
his
it's still
first
wrong, isn't
name?
it?
That's not right. No. Yeah. That's
I'll look it up. Robert.
anyway.
I'm going to say McGinnis. See if I get a hit. Illustrations. Maybe it'll give me maybe it'll autofill me. Do you mean The Art of Robert F. McGinnis? I guess I got it right. Love that guy's stuff.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff that, he did rougher stuff. He did credit sequences for a couple of movies where it's almost like the look of, the opening credits on Wild Wild West, how loosey-goosey that stuff
Oh
is and
yeah.
everything. He works like that sometimes. It's kind of a cool thing he's got in his quiver, that he's got a couple of different styles.
Yes.
But I guess most of these guys that get picked to
Yeah, I
work in
think
Hollywood.
professional. Yeah, I think professional illustrators pretty much have multiple styles. Maybe I
Wally
don't know.
Wood has got some stuff that, as much as I think I know my Wally Wood, it was unrecognizable to me as some of his freelance stuff he did for sci-fi magazines.
I saw something of his recently.
Where he's
May have
using
been in that book,
washes
and I
and
was just
stuff.
like, Wally Wood did that? Holy
Yeah.
cow!
hmm Yeah, I'm back to a little bit of coffee, but I've been back for 2 weeks and I seem to be under control. I think I've finally become an adult coffee drinker. I realize that, hey, you can have rules for this stuff. You don't have to drink it like a madman, you know.
Is that you talking, or are you reading that?
No. That's me talking. I have been able to control
Well, that's
myself this time.
well, that's
I'm,
good. I
I'm
mean, you gotta. If it's keeping you, I mean, I've switched. I've switched to the chicory coffee, which has less caffeine, and I feel a
mhm.
lot better. So because I'm not jittered. That was the thing. I'd lay in bed and be like, man, is my heart racing? What's going on?
Yeah,
Am I gonna die?
that's how I'm going to die anyway. I should try not to.
Not to exasperate it
Yeah,
or
exactly.
egg it on.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I've got Magnus, steel smashing the heads off two robots with one karate stroke.
there you go.
That's going to be my cover. That'll do it.
Cool.
Yeah. Get that out of my head. That's something that needs to be done. I've been enjoying being on Instagram, looking at all these old friends' artwork. The reason I was never on Instagram, the only way to be on Instagram was with your
Oh, yeah, your
smartphone or
phone.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just only recently that they've allowed people to post using their PC. So that's been kind of cool for me to. And of course, sadly, it means that I've said, oh, okay, you couldn't do without Facebook, huh? Because that's what it is. It's basically another version of Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I don't know. I think social media has destroyed our
Oh,
society.
it definitely has. It definitely has. If it would all just the Chinese thought about their EMP attack, and then they say, "What are we thinking?" Just
Yeah, no
keep.
doubt, man.
It's
Just
like,
keep them.
yeah, keep them.
We'll kill them off of TikTok.
Yeah, that's right. That's the front line of the battle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think the Chinese really want us to go anywhere. They just want us to be good customers and let them, but I think one of these days they're going to invade Taiwan and then we're going to be like, oh crap.
Well, I don't think they ever do anything without careful consideration and planning. So I don't know when it'll be because it'll have to be something where they figure it's all their way. Is the only way I see it happening.
Yeah, you're right about that. They're not going to do it without having the upper hand.
Right.
I don't believe. Don't believe.
Have you? I've seen a lot of noir stuff lately, and I'm reading a book of a movie I saw recently called oh, pardon me, Ride the Pink Horse, which refers to
Oh, yeah, you've been talking about that.
a merry-go-round horse is what that refers to. But
Okay, that makes sense.
uh-huh. And it's cool. The book, and I also saw this same author is named Dorothy Hughes, and she also wrote In a Lonely Place. So she's written some of this great classic noir. Oh, you'd be interested. I just watched In a Lonely Place the other night. Man, that's a good movie. And it's by, guess who? Nicholas Ray. Does that name?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's your favorite guy.
Yeah, the Rebel Without a Cause.
Rebel Without a Cause, yes. And, it's got, I think you'd really, if you haven't seen In a Lonely Place, you would dig it. It's
How old is it?
1950. It's Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
You dig it. Believe me, it would be hard for anybody that appreciates a good movie not to dig in along with play.
How did you see it?
I saw it by the library.
Oh, wait,
It's a Criterion edition.
did you check that out when we were at the library downtown last time?
I'm not sure. Well, my old pink head gets into frame, and it's a horrific image.
No, yeah, I tried that. See, that's why I need.
Yeah,
the
but
thing
you got
like I was
hair on
telling you.
yours. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I was blessed with hair. God protected me from baldness.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Be grateful.
I am grateful. Oh, trust me, I am. Most people I know my age are definitely follically challenged.
I think actually when I was your age, I was still doing pretty good.
I didn't want to hear that.
And I'm not flat bald yet. I mean, I got some thick hair here and there. Here and there. That sounds attractive, doesn't it?
It's kind of patchy.
Here and there. Here, patch there.
Oh, well.
That makes me laugh. I mean, here I am laughing at deteriorating. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, dude, the guy that owns the company I work for is in a wheelchair. He can't, and he has no strength in his legs. He's losing his strength in his arms. And, it's a guy worth millions of dollars.
Oh man, yeah, that is it.
And it's like, golly, and he'd probably traded every bit of it if he could just walk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there does come a point where you realize, my gosh, someone could hold their hand over my nose and mouth, and what would I pay them to get some air back? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's but my point is, you're despite your bald, which he's bald too, by the way.
Yeah. He got everything going wrong.
Yeah, well, except he's rich as all get out, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I saw him one day. I used to get my hair cut at a place down the street from my work until they just butchered me one day. But and you were always getting somebody different, and I didn't like that. But I went down there one time, and he was there, and he came over and talked to me. Hey, what are you doing over here? I told him I want a haircut just like yours, and he laughed because at the time he's had a fringe of hair around the edges.
Yeah.
Now he's bald. If I was going bald, I'd probably shave my head. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm just not bald enough to shave it. But yeah, if I get bald enough, I will shave it.
No, you got you're good with a hat.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's I don't know. Yeah, this is a good. Here's my. I don't know if anybody can see it. I'll put a little tone on it. It'll read better. I've been ignoring the tone. I've left the pencil on for tone.
Oh, yeah.
Magnus was always such a screwy character design anyway. And the guy that painted the covers, he obviously didn't like the white boots. It's like, what are they thinking? White go-go boots on a guy? So
wearing shorts. Already wearing shorts.
Yeah, he's already. Yeah, it's and the problems that encounter because he's basically, I don't know if you'd call it a tunic or whatever, but he's wearing what by virtue of it being a tunic, it's a mini skirt. The guy's got all kinds of issues, like when he starts hiking his legs around dynamically. It's like, oh, okay, we don't want to see that.
Yes.
So it's like the world's worst character design, even though you gotta love Russ Manning's art. Just his future vision of everybody walking around in togas and everything like that.
He was just ahead of his time, man.
Yeah.
Logan's Run, man. Logan's Run, buddy.
It was the 60s, that's right. The 60s, man. I lived them. Believe me.
I lived them, sort of.
Yeah.
I was born in '67.
Yeah. Born in 67. Yeah. Yeah. You might have some vague memories of that. I was born in 53. That left me plenty of room to start living them by the
Yeah.
time the 60s rolled around. 7 years old and 1960 rolling around, you're very aware. I remember the Pope dying. I remember Kennedy dying. Yeah, we had a lot to go through back then.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But there was groovy moments too. Very groovy moments. Hey Scott, we've been at it now. I'm digging your figures. I like how I like how you've got these little islands of cool figure poses there.
Well, I tried to get because the backgrounds will go pretty quick because it's a warehouse on fire.
Sure.
But the roof blows through and he kind of falls through, and I'm trying to get he hits this crate and he bounces, and I didn't want to do it kind of I could have done it where it's like straight into there, but I wanted it, and he falls next to this body, which is a person he's going to revive, but that's the thing. So yeah, so we've
So
been
if I
at
want
an hour.
so if I want to show up tomorrow, you're just there all day. Where do you want me to? Can I park at
Yeah, you can park
Michelle's
there at
spot? And when would
Yeah.
you want to meet me there?
So when I clocked out today, I had 30 minutes of overtime. So I'm gonna drive. Like I said, I've got to drive tomorrow. I'm gonna ride with Michelle. She gets off at 4. If you wanted to, I will probably be there between 10:30 and 11. So if you want to
Okay.
be there about 10:45,
Okay.
my point is I can leave work anytime. It just depends. Oh, that looks awesome, Ellis. I'm watching. I think I'm seeing the delayed on my thing with your.
Yeah.
That's cool looking.
It's
I
not,
like that a
yeah,
lot.
he's right there between them with a massive swat. I might change a little bit of his leg pose, but yeah, I managed to work them into like
I love your robots.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to follow the Russ Manning
Yeah,
designs.
emulate. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to meet me, I'm going to be there as soon as I can. I got a couple things I need to get done tomorrow, and
Oh yeah.
but I'm going to be there if I can buy. I will probably be. He had first runs of Batman and Star Trek. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did. Yeah. You're right.
I'm
Oh
gonna.
heck, I've seen so many movies in the theater that everybody else thinks, look at that. That was on videotape, wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah, I saw that on classic theater when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'll probably be there about 10:30. I'm gonna try and leave it at 10:15 at the latest.
Well, I'll try to show up, and
Dude, that'd be awesome. Now I'm gonna.
it's going to be miserable, humid tomorrow. It's going to be 90 degrees, and you know how much rain we've had recently. It's going to be steam coming off the sidewalk. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress appropriately.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I got to be there until Michelle leaves because she's my ride home.
Right.
I will not have my car, but you can leave, whenever you want to. But
so you'll just be there until I show up, huh?
Well, yeah. If you take your phone, I know you don't always take your phone, and if for some reason you show up and I'm not there, call me.
Okay, I will.
I may. Let's see. If I send you a text,
yeah,
when I leave, will you get it, or should I just email you?
Yeah, I'll just start using my phone tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. Pull it out. Make sure it's charged.
Yeah, it's fully charged. I charged it yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you want to meet me, that'd be great, man.
Okay, approximately 10:45 then. Okay, I'll see you.
Approximately 10:45.
Okay.
Okay. Are we signing off?
We'll sign off. I gotta watch it. I'm just about to close photos. I'm closing Firefox. I got to do things right. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. We'll sign off. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dan. It's good to see you again.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. It's good to talk to you the other day.
Yeah. Okay. We're ending. Bye, everybody.
Bye.